Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. Efforts and courage are not enough without purpose and direction. We are not afraid to entrust the American people with unpleasant facts, foreign ideas, alien philosophies, and competitive values. Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe to assure the survival and the success of liberty. The rights of every man are diminished when the rights of one man are threatened. Do not pray for easy lives. Pray to be stronger men. Victory has 100 fathers, and defeat is an orphan. Those who dare to fail miserably can achieve greatly. Let us not seek the Republican answer or the Democratic answer, but the right answer. The ignorance of one voter in a democracy impairs the security of all. The time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining. A rising tide lifts all boats. Conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of growth. One person can make a difference, and everyone should try. Let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate. Our problems are man-made, therefore they can be solved by man. Tolerance implies no lack of commitment to one's own beliefs. Rather, it condemns the oppression or persecution of others. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future. When power leads man toward arrogance, poetry reminds him of his limitations. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. We stand today on the edge of a new frontier. If a free society cannot help the many who are poor, it cannot save the few who are rich. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Physical fitness is not only one of the most important keys to a healthy body, but it is also the basis of dynamic and creative intellectual activity. Geography has made us neighbors. History has made us friends. The unity of freedom has never relied on uniformity of opinion. We need men who can dream of things that never were. Partnership is not a posture, but a process, a continuous process that grows stronger each year as we devote ourselves to common tasks. Our progress as a nation can be no swifter than our progress in education. A child miseducated is a child lost. To govern is to choose. For only when our arms are sufficient beyond doubt can we be certain beyond doubt that they will never be employed. Let every public servant know, whether his post is high or low, that a man's rank does not confer privilege or give power. It imposes responsibility. In a time of turbulence and change, it is more true than ever that knowledge is power. Our goal is not the victory of might, but the vindication of right. Mankind must put an end to war, or war will put an end to mankind. Domestic policy can only defeat us. Foreign policy can kill us. We enjoy the comfort of opinion without the discomfort of thought. Every accomplishment starts with the decision to try. In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. Let us think of education as the means of developing our greatest abilities. If art is to nourish the roots of our culture, society must set the artist free to follow his vision. Courage, intellectual courage, moral courage, is the most important of all virtues. If freedom is to survive and prosper, it will require the sacrifice, the effort, and the thoughtful attention of every citizen. The one unchangeable certainty is that nothing is unchangeable or certain. The supreme reality of our time is the vulnerability of our planet. A man does what he must, in spite of personal consequences, in spite of obstacles, dangers, and pressures. Let us not despair but act. History is a relentless master. It has no present, only the past rushing into the future. The greater our knowledge increases, the greater our ignorance unfolds. Economic growth without social progress lets the great majority of people remain in poverty. The separation of church and state is essential to freedom. A nation reveals itself not only by the men it produces, but also by the men it honors and the men it remembers. The great enemy of the truth is very often not the lie, deliberate, contrived, and dishonest, but the myth, persistent, persuasive, and unrealistic. The human mind is our fundamental resource. We must find time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in our lives. A good society must preserve individual freedom. The goal of education is the advancement of knowledge and the dissemination of truth. The best road to progress is freedom's road. Our children and grandchildren are our most important resource. National strength rests on economic strength. Peace is a daily, weekly, monthly process, gradually changing opinions and eroding old barriers. Modern society depends on science and technology. The future promise of any nation can be directly measured by the present prospects of its youth. Only an educated and informed people will be a free people. Courage is contagious, and it spreads among the brave. Time and the world do not stand still. Change is the law of life. Leadership requires self-discipline and vision. A strong America must work for a more just world. Diplomacy is the art of telling people to go to hell in such a way that they ask for directions. True leadership demands bold decisions and careful thought. In critical moments, the tide of history demands action. We are tied together by the fabric of shared goals. A nation thrives when its people have a common purpose. Innovation is the foundation of future prosperity. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. When freedom expands, so does opportunity. A free press is essential to a vibrant democracy. Progress depends on forward-thinking leadership. Freedom without responsibility is a contradiction. Citizenship demands active participation. We must be architects of peace, not prisoners of fear. Economic freedom is the cornerstone of human progress. The vitality of democracy depends on the character of its citizens. Visionary ideas require bold execution. Success belongs to those willing to work for it. The heart of democracy is found in its people. Freedom thrives on equality and opportunity. The seeds of greatness are found in the soil of effort. The ultimate measure of a society is its treatment of the vulnerable. True liberty means living without fear or coercion. The strength of a nation is not determined by its wealth, but by the character of its people. Great crises produce great men and great deeds of courage. The true measure of a nation is how it faces its challenges and rises above them. Success is not a resting place, but a starting point for new endeavors. Our responsibility is to build a future worthy of our past. Diplomacy and dialogue are the tools of peace, not weapons of war. Progress comes from the willingness to take risks and challenge the status quo. Innovation is born when curiosity meets determination. In a democracy, dissent is not treason, but the highest form of patriotism. True strength is found in unity, not division. The test of leadership is not found in words, but in actions. A nation's greatness is judged by how it treats its most vulnerable members. Our destiny is shaped not by chance, but by choice. A free society is built on the foundation of knowledge and informed citizens. No problem of human destiny is beyond human beings. Leadership is about inspiring others to achieve what they thought was impossible. Freedom is the right of every man, not the privilege of a few. Change is not to be feared, but embraced as an opportunity to grow. The cornerstone of democracy is an engaged and informed public. We are measured by the challenges we overcome, not the obstacles we avoid. Liberty is not given. It is earned through vigilance and sacrifice. The future of the world depends on our collective ability to solve problems together. When nations work together, the impossible becomes achievable. True progress lies in understanding the needs of others and addressing them. A nation's strength is found in the hearts and minds of its people. The pursuit of excellence is a never-ending journey. We must use our time wisely, for it is the most precious resource we have. The success of democracy depends on participation, not passivity. Compromise is not weakness. It is the essence of cooperation. Great achievements require great collaboration and commitment. True leadership is about serving others, not serving oneself. The most powerful weapon we have is the ability to communicate and understand. A society thrives when its citizens are educated and empowered. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. The preservation of liberty requires constant effort and vigilance. True courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it. We are all custodians of the future and stewards of the present. The essence of progress is the courage to embrace new ideas. A thriving democracy depends on trust between the people and their leaders. Bold action is the engine of progress in every era. The road to progress is paved with determination and hard work. When we face adversity together, we discover our greatest strength. The purpose of power is not domination, but the creation of opportunity for all. Peace is not just the absence of war, but the presence of justice. Leadership is about shaping the future, not waiting for it to unfold. The legacy we leave behind is determined by the choices we make today. Hope is not a strategy, but it is the foundation of progress. Our greatest achievements come when we set aside differences and work together. The responsibility of citizenship is to leave the world better than we found it.